New York turns brutal in a winter downpour. Thunder rolls between glass towers. Rain hammers the streets so hard the gutters overflow. Keller Thorne leaves his architecture studio after midnight with blueprints in his bag and exhaustion behind his eyes. He drives on autopilot, mind stuck on one memory he cannot stop replaying. Ava Cole, 3 months ago, standing in his office doorway. Her hands tremble. Her voice stays steady anyway. I cannot do this anymore. He remembers his own answer, cold and proud. Then do not. He hates himself for it, every day since. A flash of lightning splits the street. Keller sees a shape at the corner, small and hunched against the wind. He brakes so hard the car jerks. He pulls over and steps into the rain. A woman in a thin hospital gown shakes on the sidewalk, soaked to the bone. Her hair clings to her cheeks. Her lips are a sick shade of purple. She tries to stand, fails, then lifts her head. Her eyes are wide and lost, but the moment she sees him, something flickers there. Recognition. Relief. Desperation. Keller Thorne. Her voice is raw. Are you Keller Thorne? Keller freezes. The sound of his name in her mouth hits him like a punch. Ava. He whispers, hardly believing it. She crawls the last step toward him and grips his sleeve like a lifeline. Do not go, please. I only remember you. The words make no sense. The face does. He has seen her smile in sunlight and cry in silence. He has held her hand in hospital corridors. He has promised her he would always pick up the phone. He breaks that promise once, and now she is here, barefoot in a storm. Ava, what happened to you? Keller asks, voice shaking. She stares at him like he is the only solid thing in the world. Your name keeps spinning in my head. She whispers. I needed to find it. Keller shrugs off his coat and wraps it around her shoulders, then scoops her up because she is too cold to argue. She clings to his neck, trembling so hard he can feel it through layers of fabric. In the car, he blasts the heat and hands her a bottle of water. Ava keeps one hand locked on his wrist as if he might disappear. Her breathing is shallow, fast, like a frightened animal. Where are your shoes? He asks. Ava blinks, confused by the question. I do not know. She admits. I do not know anything. Keller drives faster than he should. At his apartment, he gets her inside, peels off the wet gown with shaking hands, then gives her one of his oversized sweatshirts and a pair of clean socks. He makes ginger tea because that is what Ava used to make for him when he worked too late. The irony burns. Ava sits on the couch, knees pulled up, hands wrapped around the mug. She stares at him like she is trying to memorize the shape of his face. Who are you to me? She asks softly. Keller swallows. I am Keller. I used to be your boyfriend. Ava frowns. Used to? We broke up. He says, and the words scrape his throat. 3 months ago. Ava's eyes widen. Why? He does not know how to tell her the story without making himself the villain. Not tonight. He says quietly. Tell me what happened to you. Ava's shoulders shake. I woke up in a hospital. She whispers. Blank. No family. No home. No job. I look at my hands and they feel like someone else. But your name keeps circling in my head, like a light. So I ran. I had to find it. Keller's chest aches. He grabs his phone and calls the one person who will pick up no matter the hour. Lena Petro answers on the second ring. Keller? Her voice is sharp with fear. Is Ava with you? Yes. Keller says. She is here. She is soaked and freezing. Lena, what is going on? Lena's breath catches, then turns into a curse. She had a car accident. Lena says. Memory loss. They kept her for observation. She slipped out 2 days ago. Keller, I have been losing my mind. Who is her doctor? Keller asks. Dr. Martha Moore. Lena replies. Neurology and trauma. I am coming over right now. When Lena arrives, she tries to smile through tears. Hey, Ava. She says gently. It is Lena. Ava looks blank. Do I know you? Lena's face wobbles, then steadies. Yeah. She says, voice thick. I am your best friend. And I brought socks. You always forget socks. Ava takes them like a precious gift. Later, Keller shows Ava the guest room. He sets out water, a lamp, extra blankets. He leaves the door slightly open so she does not feel trapped. Will you be here when I wake up? Ava asks, voice small. I will be right down the hall. Keller promises. She hesitates in the doorway. Say my name. Keller's throat tightens. Ava Cole. Ava closes her eyes like the sound anchors her. Good night, Keller. Good night, Ava. When the door closes, Keller stands in the quiet and realizes the storm outside is nothing compared to the one inside him. He whispers to the dark. I found you. I am not losing you again. Keller does not sleep. He listens for every sound until Ava steps out in the morning, hair messy, eyes uncertain, clutching his coat like it belongs to her. You are here, she says, relief softening her face. I told you. Keller answers. He tries for humor and fails. Breakfast. Do not judge me. Ava sits carefully, like she is afraid the chair will betray her. She takes a bite of the blueberry pancake and blinks. It is good, she says. It is acceptable. Keller replies and she laughs, surprised by her own laughter. Lena arrives with a folder because Lena turns fear into paper. She drops her keys, then hugs Ava so tight Ava almost squeaks. Okay. Lena says, pulling back. Rules. Ava looks at her like she is bracing for bad news. Rule 1. Lena says, tapping the table. No going out alone, no disappearing, you promise. Ava glances at Keller, then nods. I promise. Rule 2. Lena continues. You do not try to go back to work until Dr. Moore clears you. I know you think you are fine, you are not. Ava flinches. I am a doctor. You are a doctor who nearly died. Lena shoots back, then softens. You will get back, just not today. Keller watches Ava swallow frustration and decides he hates Marcus already, even without the full story. They go to the hospital together. The ER smells like disinfectant and adrenaline. Ava slows at the entrance, staring at the white lights and the bustle like it is a dream she cannot reach. Dr. Martha Moore meets them in her office with calm warmth. She is in her 50s, silver streaking her hair, voice steady enough to make panic feel foolish. She reviews Ava's scans and explains the trauma like she is laying bricks. Your brain protected you. Dr. Moore says. Memory loss can be temporary, it can be partial, it can be stubborn, forcing it usually backfires. Ava twists Keller's sleeve. Why do I only remember his name? She asks, eyes glossy. Anchors. Dr. Moore replies. Sometimes the brain clings to one person, someone who mattered, someone who felt like safety. Keller looks down, ashamed and grateful at the same time. Dr. Moore gives him a sharp look. And you, Keller, are not her doctor. Be patient. Do not make your worth depend on her remembering. If she panics, ground her. If she sleeps poorly, do not push. She needs stability more than answers. Keller nods. I understand. You will make mistakes. Dr. Moore adds. Just do not make them alone. Lena, you keep an eye on him. Lena smiles without humor. Gladly. On the way home, Keller stops at a bookstore and buys Ava a small blue notebook. He adds sticky notes, a pack of pens, and a cheap set of colored markers because he remembers Ava color-coding her life when she is anxious. For journaling, he says. Ava runs her thumb over the cover. What do I write? She asks. Everything. Lena says. What you feel, what you eat, what you learn, even the weird stuff, especially the weird stuff. That night, Keller cooks pasta and tries not to hover. Ava watches him chop garlic with too much focus. You do that like you are in surgery, she says. Keller pauses. You used to tell me that. He admits. Ava's eyes narrow. So you remember details about me. She says quietly. You remember me more than I remember myself. It is not an accusation. It is grief. Keller puts the knife down. I remember you because I never stopped. He says. Even when you left. Ava looks away, throat moving, then asks the question that scares him. Did I love you? She whispers. Keller's chest heightens. Yes. He answers softly. You did. Ava stares at her hands. Then why does it feel like I am starting over? Because you are. Keller says. But you are not alone. Before bed, Keller leaves a note on her nightstand. You are safe. If you need me, knock. Ava reads it twice, then knocks anyway. When Keller opens the door, she holds up the blue notebook. Her handwriting is careful, like she is afraid the words will break. I only remember his name. But when he looks at me, I feel less lost. Keller's throat closes. That is a good start. He manages. Ava hesitates. Tell me one thing about us. she says. Something small. Keller chooses a soft memory. You used to steal fries off my plate and deny it with a straight face. Ava's smile flickers. I would do that. You would. Keller says. Then you would kiss me so I stopped complaining. Ava's cheeks warm. She backs up like she is startled by the image, then laughs again, nervous and real. When she walks back to her room, Keller stares at the closed door and admits the truth he is trying to ignore. He is falling for her again, carefully, like holding a match near dry paper. Days settle into routine. Ava sleeps better. She eats more. She starts wearing her hair in a neat twist again, as if her hands remember discipline even when her mind does not. She writes in the blue notebook every morning. Keller does not read it, but he sees her shoulders relax when she closes it. Some mornings she wakes up frightened, eyes wide, breathing fast. I cannot find myself. She whispers once, clutching the blanket. Keller sits on the edge of her bed and keeps his voice low. Look at me. He says. Name 3 things you see. Ava swallows hard. Lamp, window, your shirt. Good. Keller says. Name 2 things you hear. Rain, your voice. Name 1 thing you feel. Ava's fingers tighten on his sleeve. Warm. Keller exhales slowly. You are here. He tells her. You are safe. The first time Ava goes outside alone is only to the lobby, only for 5 minutes, and Keller watches from the staircase like a guard dog pretending to be casual. When she returns, she looks smug. I did it. She says. Keller tries not to look too relieved. You did. He agrees. To help her remember, they do small trips. A park bench. A corner cafe. A quiet museum. Keller narrates their past like reading a story he is afraid to ruin. You hated crowds. He tells her at the museum. But you loved art. You said paint felt like a heartbeat. Ava studies a landscape and frowns. I feel something. She says. Like my chest is pulling. That is okay. Lena says, standing beside her. Let it pull. A bigger fragment hits at an Italian restaurant they used to love. The waiter recognizes Keller instantly. Mr. Thorne. The waiter says brightly. And Ms. Cole. It has been a while. Your usual table? Ava freezes. The room tilts. Candles, red brick, the smell of espresso. For a second she sees herself laughing, face turned toward Keller, fork raised like a threat. She grips the chair. I have been here. She whispers. Keller slides into the booth with her. We came here when you finished a brutal week in the ER. He says softly. You ordered tiramisu first, and you said life was too short to wait. The waiter brings tiramisu like it is a blessing. Ava takes one bite and closes her eyes. A bright flash. Keller wiping cocoa from the corner of her mouth. Ava leaning in, smiling, saying something he cannot hear now. I see a window. Ava says, voice trembling. And snow. And your hands. You are gentle. Keller's eyes sting. I am gentle with you. He says. Ava opens her eyes, wet with tears. I like who you are with me. She says, as if it is new information. Back home, Keller works at his desk while Ava sits on the couch with her journal. She watches him sketch and tilts her head. You see lines everywhere. Ava says. You used to tease me. Keller replies. You said if I ever got lost, you would follow my pencil marks home. Ava goes still, fingers pressing to her temple. I see sunlight. She whispers. You are laughing. You are trying to hide it. Keller's heart stutters. That is real. He says gently. You are touching it. The first strong fragment hits at an architecture exhibit. Ava stops in front of a model library, eyes locked on its clean curves. I know this. She breathes. Keller steps closer. You do. Ava's voice shakes. Dust. Wood. You are excited, talking too fast. You say you want a building that feels like a hug. Keller's eyes fill. I said that. To you. Ava turns, tears spilling. Did we belong there together? She asks. We did. Keller answers. You told me the building looked like it was smiling. Ava laughs through tears, then grabs his hand, not in panic, but in choice. Stay. I am staying. Keller says. That night, Lena brings photos and short videos. Ava watches herself on a screen, flirting in scrubs, laughing in a tiny kitchen, feeding ducks in Central Park. Halfway through, Ava stands, breathing hard. I feel like I lost a life I did not know I had. She whispers. Keller's voice is rough. I wish I could give it back. Ava turns, eyes sharp. Why did we break up? She demands. Keller hesitates. Lena steps in. I know the truth. Lena says. It is ugly and it is not your fault. When you are steady, we will tell you. Ava hates waiting, but she nods. Later, she rests her head on Keller's shoulder, cautious at first, then trusting. I do not know my past. She murmurs. But this feels like home. Keller wraps an arm around her and whispers. Then I will keep the light on. Marcus Gray walks into Keller's studio like the place belongs to him. Expensive coat. Polished grin. Eyes that never soften. Keller. Marcus says. I heard about Ava. How noble of you. Keller does not offer a hand. Leave. Marcus pretends to laugh. Relax. I am here for business. Big project, big money. We could be partners again. We are not partners. Keller says. Marcus's smile turns sharp. Does Ava remember why she left you? He asks. Or is she convenient now that she cannot remember your mistakes? Keller steps closer. Do not say her name. Marcus lowers his voice like he is sharing a secret. Truth surfaces. He murmurs. Even for the amnesiac. Keller shoves him out, hands shaking. The door slams. The office goes silent, but Keller's pulse keeps roaring. He calls Lena. Marcus is sniffing around. He says. He is trying to reopen everything. Lena swears. He is going to poke the old wound. She says. He cannot stand that you are happy. Keller laughs once, bitter. I am not happy, I am terrified. That afternoon, Ava comes to the studio with lunch, proud she remembers the route. She wears a simple coat, hair neat, eyes bright with effort. Keller sees her courage and hates that the world will bite it. Who was here? Ava asks as soon as she steps inside. She senses the tension like a doctor senses infection. An old colleague. Keller says. Before he can add more, Marcus steps into the doorway again. He is carrying a coffee like he is invited. Ava Cole. Marcus says smoothly. You look different. Ava stiffens. Who are you? Marcus Gray. He replies. Keller and I used to work together. You and I met, before you forgot. I just think you deserve the truth. Keller's voice turns low. Stop. Marcus ignores him. Last time, you got hurt because you trusted the wrong person. He says. If you want the truth about why you broke up, call me. Ava's breath catches. Keller grabs her hand and pulls her out. He does not wait for the elevator. He takes the stairs, fast, like he can outrun the past. At home, Ava paces, anger and fear mixing. Lena arrives with a folder. Dr. Moore joins on speakerphone. Ava points at Keller. Tell me. She demands. Now. Keller sits, elbows on knees, palms open like he is surrendering. It was a project. He begins. Marcus changed key data to make the budget look better. When the problem surfaced, he blamed me. Then he lied to you. He manipulated paperwork so it looked like you approved something you did not understand. Ava goes pale. And I believed him. Yes. Keller admits, voice rough. He waited until you were exhausted. You were in the middle of a long shift. He told you I used you, that I risked your license. You came to me furious. I got defensive. I was proud. I said things I cannot take back. Ava's eyes glisten. Did you let me leave? She asks. Keller's eyes fill. I tried to stop you. I failed. Then I let you go because I thought if you came back, it would mean you trusted me again. It was the stupidest gamble of my life. Silence lands heavy. Dr. Moore's voice is calm. Ava, breathe. You are safe. Check in with your body. Tell me what you feel. Ava presses a hand to her chest. My heart is racing. She whispers. My stomach hurts. Good. Dr. Moore says. Name the room, name the people. My apartment. Ava says, voice steadier. Keller, Lena, Dr. Moore. Now decide. Dr. Moore says. What do you need from Keller right now? Ava looks at him, eyes wet but clear. I need honesty. She says. No more hiding, no more guessing. Keller nods immediately. You have it. He says. All of it. I will not protect you by lying again. Ava holds his gaze. Do you swear you did not do it? She asks. I swear. Keller says. I would never ruin you. Ava studies him, then exhales. I believe you. she says. But I am still angry, not at you alone, at him, at what he stole from us. Lena's eyes burn. And I will help you end this, she says. Marcus does not get to rewrite your life. Ava's chin lifts, stubborn returning. We fight him together, she says. Keller covers her hand with his. Together. He repeats. That night, Ava dreams of shouting and paperwork and a man smiling as she cries. She wakes shaking. Keller appears at her door within seconds, like he has been listening. I am here, he says. Ava grips his wrist. Do not let him near me again, she whispers. Keller's voice is steady. He will not. 2 weeks pass. Ava gets stronger. Her laugh comes easier. Her nightmares fade, replaced by quieter dreams that leave her waking with tears she cannot explain. Dr. Moore schedules a follow-up and says something that sounds simple but feels like a cliff. Sometimes memory returns when the body feels safe. She tells Ava. Not when it feels hunted. Ava turns the sentence over all day. Keller drives her to an older apartment building on the Upper West Side. His grip on the steering wheel is tight. This was our place, he says quietly. Before. Ava stares at the door. Will it help? She asks. It might. Keller says. If it is too much, we leave. Inside, the air is still. Sunlight falls over familiar furniture, a worn couch, a scarred table, a balcony door that opens to a pot of sunflowers. Dust hangs in the quiet like time itself. Ava walks slowly, fingertips trailing as if she is reading with touch. She stops at a framed photo of them, cheeks pressed together, laughing with flour on their noses. I look happy, she whispers. You were, Keller says, voice hoarse. In the kitchen, Ava touches a chipped mug and suddenly sways. Keller catches her and lowers her to the floor. Her breathing turns fast. It is happening. She breathes, terrified. It is too much. Keller keeps his voice steady. Breathe. You are here with me. Press your feet into the floor. Ava does. The panic eases just enough for memory to push through. Laughter in this kitchen. Flour thrown like snow. A bad dance between stove and sink. Keller kissing her forehead while she is half asleep on the couch. Ava bragging to Lena, loud and proud, that Keller makes her feel safe. Then a sharp argument. Papers on the table. Her voice rising. His voice cutting back. The sick taste of betrayal. The way she storms out with her hands shaking. Ava grabs Keller's arm. I remember. She sobs. Keller's heart stops. What do you remember? He asks. Us. Ava whispers. I remember loving you. I remember leaving. I remember thinking I could not breathe. She stumbles to the balcony and stares at the sunflowers. You planted these for me, she says, voice breaking. I did. Keller admits. Ava turns, eyes clear through tears. You said I was your light. She murmurs. You said you would keep the light on. I meant it. Keller says. Ava wipes her face and forces herself to speak. I remember Marcus. She says. I remember him coming to the hospital when I was exhausted. I remember him telling me you used me. I remember believing him. And I remember you getting angry when I accused you. You were hurt and I was scared and we both let it break us. Keller closes his eyes. I am sorry. He whispers. Ava's voice softens. So am I. She admits. But I am not running anymore. She moves through the apartment like someone reclaiming lost ground. She finds her old stethoscope in a drawer and holds it like a piece of herself clicking back into place. I am a doctor. She says, posture straightening. I save people. I do not fall apart because one man lies. Lena arrives later and sees the look in Ava's eyes. You remember more. Lena guesses. Ava nods. Enough. She says. Enough to know Marcus is a disease in my story. Lena grins, fierce. Good. She says. Then we treat it. That night, Ava writes in the blue notebook with a steadier hand. I remember the kitchen. I remember the sunflowers. I remember my spine. I remember that love is not supposed to feel like fear. Keller watches her and knows memory is returning. With it comes the truth they have to face and the choice they have to make. Not just to forgive. To fight. Ava returns to the hospital in short shifts. The first day back, she stands at the ER entrance and breathes in the familiar chaos. Stretchers roll. Phones ring. A nurse shouts orders. The world feels loud and alive. I remember who I am here, she says to Keller. Keller waits after her shift like he cannot help it. When she walks out, tired but steady, he smiles like sunlight. You look like yourself, he says. Ava rubs her temples. I look like someone who needs a burger, she replies, and he laughs. Marcus tries again, because men like him do not know when to stop. A message from an unknown number lands on Ava's phone. You deserve the truth. Meet me. Ava shows Keller, eyes hard. On my terms, she says. They meet Marcus in a public cafe the next afternoon. Lena sits beside Ava with a folder. Keller sits close, silent and steady. Ava wears her confidence like armor. Marcus arrives with his polished smile. Ava, he says. I am glad you are better. Ava does not smile back. Talk, she says simply. Marcus shrugs. Keller told you his version. You know how he is, always the hero. Ava tilts her head. So you admit you changed the data, she says calmly. Marcus laughs too fast. It was an adjustment, necessary. If you signed something, that is on you. Ava's eyes turn cold. I was in surgery, she says. You waited until I was exhausted. You lied and watched me believe you. You used my fear like a tool. Marcus leans forward. You were emotional. You ran. Do not blame men for your choices. Keller's anger flashes, but Ava touches his wrist, grounding him. Lena sets the folder on the table and slides it forward. Evidence, she says sweetly. Change logs, emails, version histories, the document you manipulated, timestamps, the whole ugly timeline. Marcus's smile cracks. His eyes dart over the pages. You cannot prove I did it, he snaps, but his voice shakes. Keller finally speaks. We can, he says. And we will. The client will see it, the licensing board will see it, and the reporter Lena already contacted will see it. Marcus goes pale. For the first time, his confidence looks like panic wearing a suit. Ava leans in, voice quiet and lethal. You do not get to touch my life again, she says. I forgot the world, and I still found my way back. You are not going to pull me into the dark. Marcus stands abruptly. This is not over. He spits. It is. Lena replies, smiling. Walk away while you can. Marcus storms out. Ava exhales, hands shaking now that the fight is done. Keller covers her fingers with his. You were brave, he says. Ava's eyes shine. I was terrified, she admits. That is what brave is, Keller replies. Months pass. The consequences hit Marcus quietly at first, then all at once. A partnership ends. A contract gets pulled. A client files a complaint. The lies that held him up stop working. Ava keeps working. Her confidence returns in layers. Sometimes she still forgets a name or a detail and panic spikes. Keller grounds her the way Dr. Moore taught him. Lena keeps showing up with coffee and sharp jokes. Dr. Moore calls it progress. 1 year after the storm, Keller takes Ava to Central Park, sunlight soft on the lake. This is where we met, Ava says, surprising him. I remember the bird. I remember your scarf. I remember telling you looked ridiculous. Keller laughs. You were rude. You liked it, Ava says, smiling. You kept coming back. I did. Keller agrees. He leads her to the water and stops. His hands tremble as he pulls a small box from his pocket. He drops to one knee before fear can talk him out of it. Ava Cole, he says, voice steady. I loved you once. I love you again. I do not want to be your only anchor. I want to be your partner. I want to choose you every day, even when it is hard. Will you marry me? Ava covers her mouth, tears spilling. Yes, she says. Yes, Keller. He slides the ring on her finger. She pulls him up and kisses him like she has been waiting a lifetime. Their wedding is small, warm, real. Lena cries and pretends she is not crying. Dr. Moore smiles like a proud aunt. The city glows outside the windows like it is holding its breath. Later, on a quiet balcony, Ava takes Keller's hands and whispers. When I woke up, I did not know my name, but I knew yours like it was written on my bones. Keller swallows. I would find you in any life, he says. Ava smiles, clear and certain. And I would find you too, she replies. Because now I remember something else. What? Keller asks. Home, Ava says. I remember how to come home. forgot the world, only remembered him, found herself again, and in the end, that is the only way home.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.